I have a question for you. If somebody was teaching you how to make $15 million per year, okay, and all you had to do was get in your car or truck and drive 1 hour there and 1 hour back, your time, your gas, sure, and this person had a free event that you didn't even have to pay to go to and was going to buy you lunch, would you make that drive 1 hour there and 1 hour back to learn from somebody doing $15 million a year, 8 figures a year? So I'll share with you a story, and then I'll give you a really cool lesson, and then we can all chat about it and make some money together and grow together. How's that sound? So my best friend Jason is hosting a free networking event tomorrow. Jason is doing 15 million plus per year in revenue. Some months, 1.5 million, 2 million. Dude is goated in the home service game. So tomorrow at his offices, he's just doing this free networking event. They're bringing in a brick oven pizza truck. It was just like a really dope event. Well, I help him with his marketing, and so I just fired off the emails and the text to invite people there. And whenever you send a mass text to humans, you learn a whole lot about human nature and success, because success leaves clues, as does failure. And I'm going to unpack this. And please know I'm not judging. I think we can all learn from this, and I think we can all grow together. So the text goes out, hey man, opening up my office for 3 hours tomorrow, networking, collaboration, connections, people get referrals. And just so you know, I've watched people from these events do a handshake and make millions from that collaboration, that connection, right? And he'll be there, you know, shaking hands, teaching, sharing, love. It's just a really, really cool environment. So the text goes out, and because I run our marketing and our CRMs, I see all the responses first. So the text goes out and the response comes back. Hey, Jason, thanks for the invite. Are you doing anything closer to our town? Now, keep in mind, this dude has a brick and mortar location, so he can't pick that up. He has a whole team coming. He has a brick oven pizza truck coming. He has people coming. He has employees coming. He has people that are connected to his office that he pays a ton of money each month for overhead for. And it's tricked out. Huge screen everywhere, speakers, music, tables, chairs. Dude's spending thousands of dollars for this event. Hey, Jason, any chance you're doing one closer to me? I don't want to drive the hour to get to you. I just sat and I looked at that text, because we've thrown so many events at his office. And so he's in Phoenix, Arizona. And just so you know the geography, he's in one pocket in one suburb of Phoenix. And Phoenix is a huge city, right? My brother lives an hour and a half away from him. And I get it. It's an hour, hour and a half for somebody to drive across town in rush hour to see Jason. I started really thinking about the psychology is, what would I do? What would I be willing to trade to go learn from a home service millionaire, or anybody for that matter, somebody that's in the best shape, has the best relationship, connected to God? Like, what would you trade? Would you trade a plane ticket? Would you trade an hour in the car and the gas? Yes, you would absolutely take that trade-off. And I think this unpacks like the greatest lesson I think we could even chat about is, what are you willing to trade for learning what you want? I hear this all the time. Well, Nick, I don't know sales funnels. You realize at some point in time, I had to sit down at YouTube and learn it. I went through Kajabi University. Nick, I don't know how to run my own ads, and I can't afford an ad agency. Well, you know, my friend, at some point in time, I had to sit down and learn the meta ads dashboard. Like, I had to learn how to run my own ads. I had to learn to run my own email marketing. Like, this stuff, we're not just born out of the womb. You're a marketer. You're in really good shape. Like, we all had to sit down and learn the skill set that we wanted to. So when I ask you this question, would you trade an hour of your time for learning from a home service millionaire? But of course. What else are you not trading time for? See, the thing I want you to understand is that level of where you want to go. And I'm speaking with you, okay? Please know I'm not talking to you. I'm having this conversation currently sitting outside of the gym. I want to be here physically, right? So I'm going to go trade another hour today. This is my second workout today. No, I don't want to get on a fucking Stairmaster right now. I really don't. I want to go home and I want to lay on my couch and I want to watch The Office, right? I want to watch Jim and Dwight duke it out. But instead, I will get on a Stairmaster or an elevated treadmill right now at 12% incline and sweat my face off for the next 45 minutes. Why? Because I'm willing to trade that temporary hour of inconvenience for how I want to feel, my discipline, how I want to look, and where my fitness goals are. And are you willing to trade that with your content, with learning ads, with learning AI, with learning social media, or all the things that you want to learn, right? And I just think this analogy is so cool for me to like look at, because I've seen this happen hundreds and hundreds of times when we throw events. Same thing, do something that's easy for me. We all want convenience, my friend. You going from here, safe and comfortable, to the next level is going to require a whole lot of discomfort. Like a whole lot of pain and learning and growth and uncomfortability. There's no way for you to go become 1% in any area of this life without doing what 99% are not willing to do. I'm going to say that again. If you want to be 1% income, health, fitness, whatever this is, right? You have to look at what the 99% are doing and not do that. You have to do the 1% stuff. Can we all agree that like Kobe trained differently and Michael Jordan trained differently? And there's something so special about that, because when you train differently, you get different results. You are rewarded in public for what you practice for years in private. And a lot of entrepreneurs follow me, business owners, right? What are you not trading an hour for? When Nick, I haven't learned AI yet. Well, then my friend, yes, you're going to have to trade an hour of Love is Blind or whatever show you're watching to go learn that skill set. And is that uncomfortable? It is. You're learning a new language. But what happens when you learn that skill set, it becomes an asset that you'll hold on to forever. And I look at this analogy because I've just seen so much connection, so much data shared at these networking events. That person's not willing to trade an hour there and an hour back, 2 hours of time to literally sit down with a guy doing 8 figures per year. What I would give to sit with somebody like that and have these conversations. So as I say this, you're going to think like, well, that's dumb. Of course I would do that. Well, then what are you doing with your time? I'll share with you another example. I just taught a huge Facebook ads class, right? And it was a 3-hour class. How the hell am I going to teach you a multi-million-dollar ad strategy in 5 minutes? See, we want the 30-second reel. I want the ChatGPT 7-step process, my friend. It takes time. So I sent out this invite for a free class. Nick, hey, just a heads up, man. Nobody's got time for that. Brother, what you're doing isn't working. I have something that'll teach you how to make millions, and you're not willing to trade 3 hours of your time to come learn this, and I'm here teaching it to you. See, I have to show up and teach. And for me, you have to be willing to burn everything that you have currently to the ground to get where you want to go. You've maybe heard give up the good for the great, and I think there's so much to be said about this. You've probably heard this before. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again, expecting different results. And I think that's so true in marketing, in social media. Let me ask you a question. Like, let's have a real conversation. How many leads did you generate? Like actual leads, customers, and revenue from your social media last month? Now, if you're crushing it, keep doing what you're doing. But if you didn't get enough leads and you're not crushing your goals, guess what has to happen? Something has to change. And the stuff that you're currently posting, you should never post again. Why? Because you have to burn that to the ground to then insert a real lead generation machine into your business. And most people don't want to hear this because it's comfortable. It's safe to keep doing the same thing. Another analogy would be if you're working out a certain way and you're eating a certain way and you're capping your progress, you have to burn that whole plan to the ground and insert a new and better plan to get ultimately where you want to go. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be hard. You're going to be in pain. You're going to be sore. And there's no way around that. And we look at these huge names in the game, no matter what game that you're in, and we emulate them. We want to be like them. I promise you this, my friend, they're putting out a really polished 60-second commercial or reel. What's going on behind the scenes is some of the hardest work you'd ever imagine. And they've put themselves in such uncomfortable positions with their time, or maybe uncomfortable positions with cutting the check. They've paid to get in the right rooms. They've paid for the ads. They've taken a tremendous amount of risk. They've bet their savings. They've bet their budget. They went chips all in on that thing. So you see a cute clip on Instagram. I don't. See, I see years of learning, years of growth, years of progress, years of studying the game, trying to elevate, trying to get to that next level. So I'll leave you right where we started. Are you willing to trade an hour there and an hour back to learn from an 8-figure business owner? And maybe you're not getting in the car today, but is that an hour on a YouTube video or a new podcast? Maybe that's an hour in the gym or an hour in the meal prep, an hour in the Bible, hour in your faith, hour in your relationships. Not telling you what you're working on, you know what you're working on. And I think I'm talking to myself here is, yeah, I'm going to go trade an hour right now for the second time today. And I think when we trade that time, we get uncomfortable. That's where you actually unlock the next version of yourself. And you have to be willing to look at it and say, hey, I'm burning this whole thing to the ground because that's where I'm headed. If what I'm doing isn't getting me there, something has to change. I have to change. I have to get uncomfortable. And I love this analogy is who can I learn from? What rooms can I get in? What mentor could I have? I mean, I have mentors myself. I have a coach who has completely changed my life. Why? Because I was capped in income. I was working too hard. I wanted a new system. So bet money, okay, took my savings, got really uncomfortable, spent a ton of money on who I felt was one of the best mentors to get me there. And where are we at 6 months later? My income has tripled because of that investment. You have to be willing to bet the farm on where you believe you're going. And that's why you're still watching me today, because you know you're headed somewhere. I'll promise you this, trading that hour or two per day in some new area will completely change your life. So just always ask yourself, am I willing to drive an hour to learn from an 8-figure home service millionaire? And that applies to your life, YouTube, podcasts, growth, training, you name it. Hope you learned something. If you did, drop me a comment. If you like this, maybe share this with an entrepreneur that maybe wanted to hear, or you want to hear this message. As always, I love you. I believe in you. But today, you're going to have to be willing to give up good comfortability for where you're headed, because you know you're built for more. I know you're built for more. Let's rally together. Let's invest that hour today in learning the things that you need to learn, in spending the time in the areas that you want to grow in. That's how you're going to get that growth. I believe in you guys. I love you. We'll talk soon.